All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to continue with more Hunter x Hunter. Apologies for the wait. I had some technical difficulties. I had to go ahead and resolve that. So that way you guys can get my wonderful dulcet tones. Time to continue on with more Hunter x Hunter after the last chapter. Let's get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here. Welcome back to more Hunter x Hunter. We have the special martial law very close to opening up, very close to getting started. And a lot of stuff has been happening, along with, members of Benjamin's group going out and killing the personal guards of these princes in order to get them rounded up. We also have the whole nature of whether or not Prince Wobble is officially part of the whole succession battle that's happening right now. And also the whole thing of like everything that's going down. Kurapika is like, yeah, don't worry, I got you and I'm going to protect you. However, I also have friends I can trust as well. And for the first time in 20 years, I think it's either 20 years or 12 years. Either one, it's been well over a decade. Very well over a decade where we've last seen Gon and Killua. So now we get to see what happens in chapter 415, Authenticity. And we begin with Furikov. Apparently 2 months prior to the voyage. Yeah, 2 months prior to the voyage, we have what appears to be like this laptop that just materializes. It seems like it materializes directly in his hands. Yeah, because he's using Nen. So I guess this is like an aspect of his own Nen ability. Yeah, there we go. I'm trying to have chat up here. Good to see you in Kratos. Good to see everybody. But we have him using Nen to basically summon this laptop. And it has like this alert sign with him going, "We're under attack." Hold on, let me make sure my hands are in a good position. And it shows what looks to be like this big castle that has like a Weasley house motifs to them. And it's almost as if he's playing a game. And it has select weapon, armor, tool, and he goes to tool, but it looks like the seed urn itself. And he's looking at all these different items and looking at all these different items and everything linked to it. I believe this is 2 months prior to the actual voyage. So this is his Nen ability where he can see which person is linked to what curse, and it's kind of weird. But he goes over to one symbol and it says remove curse. And he's curious, going like, a curse? And then he goes to affected users, and it says affected users, him, with his title, with his username being PX4098, and another unknown person who's also been cursed. There's someone besides me who got cursed? Who is that? If they're listed here, it means they received the same curse at the same time I did. Someone in the military? Maybe another prince's personal guard. It must be related to the succession battle. Mind you, 2 months prior to the voyage. An alert pops up when there's a phase manipulative attack or a covert Nen attack that causes a curse or illness. It wasn't there when I checked this morning, so it happened during the day. Today was... the seed urn ritual. Is it possible the prince got cursed at the same time I did? If Nen is involved in the succession battle, it tracks that it would affect the entourage. Wait, but then all the princes and guards boarding the Black Whale should be listed here. This isn't within the succession battle. If the seed urn ritual triggered a curse on me and my prince, only a few people could have done it. The face isn't displayed because whoever cast the curse wished to conceal themselves, because they're up to no good. There's only one guy who'd pull such a stunt. And he gets on the phone and he goes, "This is Furikov. First Prince Benjamin's personal guard. Put me through to Beyond.
On what business?
Confirming important details on the succession battle.
And he's on the phone with Beyond.
Hello? You're the one who did it, right? Oh, I'm quite surprised you notice. That takes some talent. The answer is yes. It's a safeguard to make sure the succession battle goes off without a hitch and guide the heir for Kakeen's prosperity. The curse placed on you will work in Prince Benjamin's favor. If you lie, my ability will give you away. Then why are you calling me? Let your ability tell you. I wanted to save time and effort, so what kind of curse is it? In a nutshell, it activates when you die. The post-mortem Nen will curse a prince to death. I placed it right after you were born. Don't worry, there's no harm until you die. So, the trigger was that prince participating in the seed urn ritual. Exactly. I know Prince Benjamin's ability, so I'll just say, this kills two birds with one stone. Even if you die along the way, you take out another prince. All right, back to it. I know Prince Benjamin's ability, so I'll just say this kills two birds with one stone. Even if you die along the way, you take out another prince with you, and Prince Benjamin gets your gifts. If what you say is true. So why don't you check with your ability? You won't believe me no matter what I say. And then Furikov is just looking on his Nen computer, apparently. He wants to sail to the new continent. If he needs to side with Prince Benjamin, he wants to preserve the status quo. The venture will need long-term support, after all. His plan to score points with the... What was it, if you don't mind me asking? Looks delicious. Seasoned potato. It was very good. I actually never had a potato that seasoned before, but it wasn't overly seasoned. It had it was a garlic herb potato. Very good. May need to have that with some other type of food someday. But that was very good. But his plan is to score points with the next king in order to use the Kakeen colony as a base camp. I can't tell you the target of the curse or any other details. Wanna interrogate me? I'm an Uber VIP, after all. Go through the king. Since I'm helping to make sure the succession battle goes smoothly, I don't think it'll go in your favor. A prince activates by my death. I gotta authenticate those first.
Who knew we'd be having a whole first section that's just dedicated to Furikov, of all people?
I gotta authenticate those first. Beyond doesn't know my ability. He placed the curse with the assumption that I wouldn't find out and then got busted. As for what he said after that, if my death triggers a curse that kills a prince, it's true. Telling me doesn't affect his plan. He figured I wouldn't find out which prince, and even if I did, there's no way to undo it. But I have my combo master. It'll be easy to crack his ability.
That's scary. We don't even know Beyond's Nen ability, because he has Nen, but we don't know what his ability is, let alone any of the princes. Beyond's Nen ability terrifies me, because he's capable of casually putting curses on people that will allow those curses to build up in that person to kill a person that person's aimed at. And I'm pretty sure that's not even the least of his abilities.
If I volunteer to watch him, spend a few hours or days by his side, it'll tell me the details of the curse, how to make an antidote, and how long it'll take to make it.
And then an item pops up on his Nen computer, and it says, make cleansing item. And then he goes silent.
It will take 365 days to decipher the curse. Proceed. It will take 700 days to decipher how to manufacture, then conjure a potion. Deciphering results pending.
It would take him an entire year for him to be able to decipher what Beyond's ability even is. An entire year of his life, and he doesn't even have a year. Let that sink in. He doesn't have a year. His curse is specifically made to kill the princes on this ship. It's not going to take a year to get to the Dark Continent. It's going to take just these 2 months. So he'll be dead before he even figures out what Beyond's ability even is.
A whole year just to decipher it by his side? And 2 more years to conjure a potion?
That's another one. It'll take him a year just to decipher what it is. It'll take 2 more years for him to create an antidote for what's afflicting him. And he's going to be dead before even a year is out. So he literally stands no chance of ever finding out what his ability is through his own Nen ability at all. He won't be able to decipher it, let alone survive. This dude was dead the moment Beyond put this curse on him.
A whole year just to decipher it by his side? And 2 more years to conjure a potion? This is to foil Exorcist. He wove a complex spell to impede deciphering. Once deciphering is done, the conjuring time may decrease, but still. A whole year? I don't have that kind of time. Hey. What's wrong? Earth to Furikov. Did you just find out something about my curse? I told you, I placed it when you were born. It's been 20 or so years, taking over your aura over time, accumulating strength bit by bit. It won't easily be removed.
This Nen ability, this curse that he's placed on all of these people, literally starts to consume their entire aura. And it grows stronger the longer it does that. So every single time Furikov has used his own Nen ability, this curse has been sapping strength from it, growing stronger all his life. All his life.
Taking over your aura over time, accumulating.
I gotta do my hand gestures because I really get into it.
Accumulating strength bit by bit. It won't easily be removed. You gave yourself away. A curse that needs that much aura isn't to target a normal person, but a Nen user. Is my target Prince Benjamin? You know I prepared this for the succession battle, right? Once it starts, a Nen beast called the Spirit Guardian Beast appears to protect each prince. No matter who the target is, the stronger the curse is, the better. Well, you wouldn't believe me even if I explained it. Duh! Skepticism is more than you deserve. A scumbag who sees everyone besides yourself as pawns. His MO is to blow smoke by interweaving fact and fiction. So the truth has to be in there somewhere. I'll clean it out. Whoa, aren't you the personal guard of the eldest son of the Karkin Kingdom? Are you saying you're dissatisfied being Prince Benjamin's pawn?
Don't you mention his name in the same breath, jerk. His Highness and I are leaves of the great tree of Kakin, public servants, unlike you mired in greed. I'll cut you some slack for the language in honor of your loyalty. Not to mention we're family, but I'll give you a warning. There are many goals in the succession battle, but there's only one path forward to receive protection from the Guardian Spirit Beast by taking the place of the current king, to ensure the nation's prosperity. Kill all the princes besides Prince Benjamin before the Black Whale arrives at the new continent, and select the sole heir. That's the rule. I admit that this scenario is best for my continued amicable relations with Kakin. I respect Prince Benjamin and his men for not participating in the Karn Lavar, you know.
We haven't heard about Karn Lavar since the Phantom Troops. Like, backstory. Like, remember, Karn Lavar? Literally just this... But yeah, we haven't heard about the Karn Lavar since the Phantom Troops backstory.
This is making me want to talk too much, so I'm hanging up now. Bye. Oh, I suggest you make effective use of my curse for your Prince Benjamin.
And then hangs up the phone on Furikov. And then Furikov is just sitting silently in his room, just on his little laptop. Mind you, Furikov is a very big dude. But he's just got this little laptop he's just working on.
The seed urn ritual is still ongoing. According to the schedule, it had only gotten as far as the 8th prince by the time I opened my laptop and noticed the curse, so my target is one of the first 8 princes. If it's not Prince Benjamin, could it be the 2nd? I know she's an end user. She's just as critical a threat as the 9th prince in the sense that she could overturn the current system. No, I can't take what he said at face value. I have to figure this out for myself.
And then we cut away from Furikov in the past to the present with Karapika.
General store dealer. Yes, it's a delivery service that uses drones and high-speed boats. We send our request and they deliver what we need.
And this is Karapika speaking to Queen Oito. Day 11, Wednesday, 1:50 p.m., 25 minutes before martial law is declared.
So they run until we enter the stormy seas, since that's the limit of their operational space. The final deadline for requests is 2 weeks after we set sail. Letters will get a reply in about a week. Even with several screening processes, it would be expected to reach my sister in 3 to 5 days.
And then she goes over to a cupboard and takes out a postcard.
This is the postcard I would use.
And Karapika's looking at it.
It doesn't look particularly out of the ordinary. Yes, this is a normal letter I would send if we're safe. If anything were to happen, I was going to send a coded letter using the Yamato language. My mother's side of the family comes from Yamato. Their writing system uses multiple scripts. It's complicated, but it's easier to adjust the number of characters to fit the code. Even if it doesn't sound natural, completely natural, they'll think I'm just not fluent.
Kakin in hiragana, katakana, and kanji. Exactly like the different ways that the word Kakin or the name of Kakin would be written out in all those 3 types.
We'd have to take the utmost care with the text in case it gets decoded. Specific names and place names are risky. Please avoid them. I know. Someplace both of them can identify with a key word.
Oh wait,
Someplace both of them can identify with a key word, but also somewhere far from home would be ideal for a meetup. All right. Will you give me advice on the text?
Of course. First, please write what you want to convey in your own words.
Mail is pretty risky. Even if it passes military inspection, will the drone be able to reach land? The delivery process over land isn't secure either. A postcard could get smudged, rendering the code illegible. And even if the message reaches the sister, could a normal person without any training understand the instructions given the limited word count, adapt quickly to unforeseen circumstances, and meet up with our messengers, all while traveling with an infant?
This is a long thought process for Karapika.
The worst case would be the military finding out the plan, decoding the message, and then tracking the postcard. The first prince and his men understand that if they could confirm that Prince Wobble isn't in the succession battle, it means they have one less rival to contend with. If Prince Wobble gets captured, we lose, and the queen and her family will be killed. It's too dangerous. Should I not use a code or even bother sending the letter at all? But I can't imagine the sister would trust those two boys if they suddenly show up without warning, claiming to be Hunter's associates.
Oh, Karapika's about to ask Gon and Killua to go protect Prince Wobble. Yo, Gon and Killua are about to come back in the story. Yo, Karapika is calling back Gon and Killua in the story. Now, mind you, we just saw the images of Gon and Killua after so much time. Much longer for people who read the manga originally when it came out, and the last chapter we had was Gon and Killua leaving each other. It's been a whole lot of years, a very long time. But now Karapika is looking to bring them back into the fold again. If Gon and Killua come back, people are going to have a problem. Because there's no way that Gon and Killua have been away and they haven't been training or growing stronger. Simply no way. But
I can't imagine the sister would trust those two boys if they suddenly show up without warning, claiming to be Hunter associates.
And then it gets quiet between the both of them, between Oito and Karapika. And then Karapika comes out of the room and directly talks to Bobby Mina.
Bobby Mina, Queen Oito would like to use the deliver service.
No, not deliver, dealer.
Queen Oito would like to use the dealer service.
Did I call it delivery service beforehand? General store dealer. General store dealer.
Queen Oito would like to use the dealer service. Here are 8 postcards addressed to her family I'd like you to inspect.
We don't do inspections anymore. It's supposed to go through us under customs law, but you can just hand them to the dealer as is.
So distribution is still overseen by the military.
And then the dealer comes in, takes the postcards, and leaves. And then we just get an outside shot of the black whale. This is an emergency announcement. Special martial law. Special martial law has been declared. This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. It's happening. It's happening right now. This martial law is happening now. The martial law is happening now. And we get soldiers marching in. And repeat, this is not a drill. Multiple people having their hands put up against the wall, held at gunpoint by the special military of Benjamin. Special martial law. Repeat, this is not a drill. VVIP Area 2nd Prince Quarters.
Can't you make it stop?
Second Prince. Yeah, darn it. Why? Why is this happening? Room 1003. Repeat, this is not a drill. Is it because I had the coin I got from Zhonglei? Room 10. Coin I got from Zhonglei. And then we cut to room 1004 with Seredni, and he's still training. Special martial law has been declared. This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. It's martial law. Shouldn't we do something? And mind you, Seredni is not bothered by any of this. Then we cut to room 1005. And whose room is this? This is the room of Prince Tubepa. And we got a guard from Benjamin going, Everyone stand by until the next orders are given. No leaving these quarters until martial law has been lifted. The prince will take shelter in room 1001 with her security guards.
As if we ever leave anyway. Yup.
And all of a sudden, some dude was being snarky in this room with... One person is being snarky, and then one of Benjamin's guard, the Benjamin's guard just points a gun to the back of his head going, "Do you want to get shot? I call it suspicious activity." Then Tubeppa speaks up.
Don't point a gun at my scientists. They're irreplaceable personnel I need for research on the continent.
That's if the voyage continues without incident. Don't you see? There's a threat of a coup. A threat to national security, and they're using... That's if the voyage continues without incident. Don't you see? There's a threat of a coup. A threat to national security, and they're using the succession battle as cover. Then he continues, "Until we get to the bottom of this, there's a truce. Now please, move quickly to room 1001. There will be an explanation of the military response. But if the situation remains opaque and the threat is serious, you will all live together in room 1001. It will be tighter than individual quarters, but you'll have to put up with it for a while."
For how long?
Prince Benjamin will explain in room 1001. No, it's a trap.
Explain, huh? I thought this was Benjamin's last resort, but something must have occurred for it to happen so early. Or, if it was planned, it could be a surprise attack to kill his rivals, the higher-ranking princes, earlier. Hard to say whether I count as being in that group.
Where they draw the line between succession battle strategy and rebuffing a threat of government overthrow,
Where they draw the line between succession battle strategy and rebuffing a threat of government overthrow, I'm looking forward to hearing this explanation. I can take my security guards to room 1001, right?
You may take as many as you want, as long as they're in the Royal Army. Weapons will be confiscated when you enter room 1001, but we will wait outside. Prince Benjamin alone will speak directly to you. Remember, Prince Benjamin is out there with an LMG. He the only one carrying a gun. Amongst all the princes, he's the only one carrying a gun. He's got an LMG. He gonna air that room out.
Prince Benjamin by himself. I don't get what he's after, but it's not like I have a choice here. Use this time to run a test on those samples.
And then the guard... And then Tubeppa just looks at the guard and he doesn't say anything. Quite a busy day in the household. The guardian spirit beast appeared at the same time the 5th Prince Tubeppa entered a contract with Kurapika. I made a guess that it'll be conditional, but it hasn't made a move since. The hypothesis that it needs Kurapika close by is gaining credibility. And then we get Prince Tyson just casually walking with her entourage, her guards, along with another member of Benjamin. Oh, looks like I'm watching for the wrong manga. Killer Bean, good to see you, but we are continuing with Hunter x Hunter right now. As you see in the corner. But, well, as you see in the corner right here, we're continuing with Hunter x Hunter right now. But, Prince Tyson is walking with her entourage. Loserus is gone? Yeah. Rice is gone too. He could be with the boss. Call him. What did he tell you, lass? He told me to stall the 1st Prince's guard. I went to the break room and he had already killed the 7 Prince's guards. Before martial law was declared. That'll get you into trouble. And remind you, one of Benjamin's guards that eagerly went to go kill some of the personal guards of Prince Luzurus, he got caught, cleaning his knife.
Timestamps can be fudged later. The first, and mind you, his face is swollen over here. Timestamps can be fudged later. The fact remains that this is the objective proof a Hunter associate attacked me, Benjamin's personal guard, and detained me. Now the associates, Luzurus' guards, and the Cha-R family connected to them behind the scenes, all will be eliminated for treason. Serves you right.
Now we're in rooms 10, 11 with Cacho. No, that's not Cacho. No, that is Cacho. Well, that's the spirit. That's the guardian spirit beast taking on the form of Cacho. Your Majesty, please go to VVIP quarters. Rooms without princes will be sealed off until martial law is lifted.
Don't let Fugetsu out of the Justice Department. Don't let anyone in after you lock up.
Room 1003, Nen Space, 2 p.m. martial law.
The order will come at 2:15 p.m. Act at once.
And mind you, this is the room that Biscuit is in.
Something shifted in the first prince's guard. He's acting calm, but his body is tense. If they're going to make us leave the room, it must be martial law. Follow their orders and wait for it to be lifted, or eliminate the first prince's guards and barricade ourselves in here at risk of being charged with treason.
Think that was a mistake. It should have been 1013. Yeah, it is, because it says room 1011 in the screen in the room with. Actually, no, hold on. No. Oh, wait. Yeah, it is. Room 1003. Yeah, there is a mistake. Yeah, there is. I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, it is a mistake. I didn't catch on it until now. Room 1003, but then the room door says 1013 in literally the panel below it. So yeah, that's a little bit of a grammatical error there.
Follow their orders and wait for it to be lifted, or eliminate the first prince's guards and barricade ourselves in here at risk of being charged with treason? We can't leave this room. Only the seventh queen's guards, who are virtually useless, can accompany the prince. And once they walk through that door, just like Bellarate, they won't be able to come back out. And that's not all. To offset the costs of creating and maintaining this level of Nen space, it's highly possible this ability is single-use only. If 13th Prince Mariam leaves this space, his guardian spirit beast may reset or go into hibernation, or worse, disappear altogether. Vergay, a moment?
And she's going to talk to Vergay.
Weighing the risks of leaving against the risks of a siege is a no-brainer. For a powerless lower-ranking prince to survive, we cannot fight. We have to weather the siege.
Then we cut to Kurapika's room. Room 1014, 20 minutes since martial law was declared. And then we get Bobby Mina. Prince Benjamin has granted a pardon. The swapped prince lacked the capacity to assume responsibility and will be released without indictment. Queen Oito, for insulting the state and offenses against the crown, is subject to being placed in custody. But until the real Prince Wobble is located, and considering you're still a prospective queen mother, prosecution will be suspended. You may continue with your normal routine within the walls of this bedroom, but once you step foot outside, you will be considered a fugitive, effective immediately. I urge you to consider prudence in your actions.
All right.
And then Kurapika's thinking, they're cautious of the possibility that Prince Wobble is somewhere on board. Martial law is probably also a means to search thoroughly for Prince Wobble, but I didn't think they would act so fast. This is way too hasty if it's in reaction to my reveal. There must be another, more important reason. And that's the end of the chapter. And we're not going on break, so we're going to be getting another chapter next week. Okay, so first things first, we learned that Furikov it also has a curse on him placed on him by Beyond, but another person does as well. And he will not have enough time to try and decipher this curse that's been put on him, because it will take him a year to decipher it, an additional 2 years to make a potion that will completely get rid of it. And he literally does not have that kind of time. And even talking to Beyond, this dude is so quiet, like mum on this information, that he refuses to elaborate any. He's just like, hey, you have a curse on you. It's going to kill you before you even figure out what it is. I made sure that it was placed on you when you were born, and that it would eat away at your aura, gaining strength for every single moment it does that. So you literally have no way of getting rid of it in a short period of time. I'm not going to say anything more than that. So we find that out about Beyond, and it would take him forever to make it for even him having a chance of surviving it at all. 365 days to decipher the curse, and then takes 700 days to decipher how to manufacture and then make a potion to get rid of it in total. So he doesn't have any time at all. And then he keeps talking about the whole prospect of what he's trying to do, saying, I'll cut you some slack for the language in honor of your loyalty. Not to mention we're family, but I'll give you a warning. There are many goals in the succession battle, but there's only one path forward: to receive protection from the guardian spirit beast by taking the place of the current king and to ensure the nation's prosperity. Kill all the princes besides Prince Benjamin before the black whale arrives at the new continent, and select the sole heir. That's the rule. I admit that this scenario is best for my continued amicable relations with Karkin. I respect Prince Benjamin and his men for not participating in the Karn Lavar, you know. Karn Lavar, you know. And then he says, I'm talking too much, so I'm hanging up. I suggest you make effective use of my curse for your Prince Benjamin. So we have that going on. But we don't, and here's the thing where Furikov is wondering if he can figure out Beyond's ability, but even then he has absolutely no way of figuring that out. So we also have Karapika sending letters out, which are to be deciphered in the hopes that they can get in contact with Gon and Killua, which is awesome because that means that these letters are going to be sent out and we could possibly see Gon and Killua officially join in everything that's going on right now. We haven't seen them in ages. For me, it was like, what? I want to say in April is when I fully caught up to the series, and then took a break because there wasn't a new chapter yet until more recently. But for people who were reading Hunter x Hunter earlier on, like when the pages were being fully serialized, it's been ages since Gon and Killua have been in any part of the story. And it wasn't until the last chapter we got that they showed Gon and Killua again. And now we have Karapika literally sending postcards to them in order to enlist their help so that they can find Prince Wobble, help with Prince Wobble, and basically protect them. Protect both Prince Wobble and Queen Oito's sister. So while that's going on, Karapika sends out the postcards, and hopefully Gon and Killua can pick up on this so they can help out. Special martial law has been declared, and people are being rounded up. Civilians are being told to have their... basically, you see all these guards of Benjamin all throughout the ship itself. And people are being told to follow the rules. Princes from... the second prince is hearing this as well. We got room 1003 with Zhonglei. We got room 1005 with Seredni, and he's still training and not paying attention to anything going on. Mind you, there's loud beeping going on for this special martial law announcement. It's like one of your standard ship announcements, like the emergency. Like if you look at the Costa Concordia, you can hear those types of sirens going off. From an internet historian, you can hear those types of emergency sirens going off on the ship. It's basically like that on the Black Whale right now. And then we get in room 1005, well, 1004, and then we have room 1005 where people are being told to follow the rules. Some people are being a little, one dude is snarky, and he has a gun pointed to his head, so like, you want to get shot? I can call it suspicious activity. And this is the room of Prince Tubepa, who's wondering what's truly going on here, wondering why Benjamin wants all of the princes rounded up into one room, but everyone else gets separated. I mean, we already know why he wants to get all the princes in one room, so he can literally make sure that of all the princes that walk into that room, he's the only one walking out alive. Literally, we saw him saying, like, I'm gonna go round up with the princes, and him carrying a large machine gun in his hands. So there's that. Not to mention, we still haven't fully seen like the full scope of his Nen ability, I think, or the ability of his own Nen, his guardian spirit beast. So we got that. So that's still a concern. Luzerus is gone. Tyson is headed to the room where all the princes are going to be. Luzerus is just straight up gone, and so is Rice. And the Char are supposedly possibly going to be getting involved as well, which means that if one of these mafia families gets involved, and not to mention the Phantom Troop is looking to take out all these families and steal from the royal family itself, some of the things are starting to really pick up, but also about to come to a head as well, where two different factions are going to clash. We're probably going to have the mafia clash with the personal army of Benjamin, and then the Phantom Troop may join in the chaos in order to get their hands on the national treasures of Kakin, all the while still looking out for Hisoka that's going on. Kurapika's caught up in this mess as well because Sereitni has the last of the eyes of his members of his clan, the Kurta clan. He's the only one who has the last set of eyes he needs, and then he has officially avenged his entire nation, literally his entire people. And now we gotta throw in Killua and Gon in the mix, and if they can get there in time, because mind you, it's been a while since they've been out sailing, so it remains to be seen if Gon and Killua are going to be able to catch up when these postcards get there. So that's going on, and apparently Bobby Mina says that since the the swap prince lacked the capacity to assume responsibility and will be released without indictment. Queen Oito, for insulting the state and offenses against the crown, is subject to be placed in custody. But until the real Prince Wobble is located, and considering you're still a prospective queen mother, prosecution will be suspended. You may continue with your normal routine within the walls of this bedroom, but once you step foot outside, you will be considered a fugitive, effective immediately. And urges her to consider her actions so that it doesn't, you know, cause her any harm. Now, Kurapika's thinking martial law is probably also a means to search thoroughly for Prince Wobble, but I didn't think they would act so fast. This is way too hasty if it's in reaction to my reveal. There must be another more important reason. And that other reason might be the fact that Benjamin is pretty much poisoned right now. Because remember, he's been infected. He ain't got long. The same thing he was going to be using on Hulkenberg has been used on him as well. He's been poisoned. He's been poisoned. And remember, I think it was Furikov who did it. So that's another reason. So we still got that going on. Also, third, Prince's guardian beast is doing something we don't know yet to that first Prince's personal guard who took the first coin. We might get to learn its ability soon. Get to know its ability soon. That's true. So we got a lot of stuff going on. And I'm going to go ahead and close out with this because I kept you guys long enough. We have... Special martial law has been enacted. No more minutes left until it starts. It's now happening now. And it's going on. It's going to be going on, 10 minutes to 30. It's going to be getting close to like 30 minutes for this special martial law to happen. We also got Biscuit, who's like thinking of what's going on as well. Yeah, Luzerus completely disappeared out of nowhere all of a sudden. Literally slipped every single one of his guards and even one of Benjamin's personal guards who's in the room as well. So it's like, oh, Joka just gone. He's just out and no one knows where he went. So that's a whole matter altogether. So yeah, that is interesting. But special martial law has been enacted. Kurapika sent out some postcards, more than likely with instructions towards Gon and Killua in order to protect Prince Wobble, the real Prince Wobble, and the sister, which probably has a better explanation as to why two young boys would be going over to Prince Wobble's aunt's place in order to protect the both of them. even with them being hunters associates, you know, hunters themselves. We got that going on. The princes are all being rounded up into one solitary room where Benjamin pretty much intends to kill all of them. And we also have the matters of stuff happening on the lower tier floors with the Mafia and the Phantom Troop and Hisoka and all these other individuals as well. We got all that going on, but we're really focusing on the special martial law and the princes and everybody else. Let's see. There's been a bit of a theory that Hulkenberg has taken over Loserus, because remember in the last chapter, he was asleep. Then he just says he's not, and now he's disappeared. Something to keep in mind. That is true. And we're not going on break, so I wonder what this other important reason Kurapika has in mind. Either the other reason is that Benjamin is slowly dying from this infection, this biological weapon he's been infected with, and that's the reason why he's speeding up martial law. Or there's something else truly monumental that's going on to cause this martial law to be enacted so quickly after all of this. And it probably doesn't even have anything to do with Kurapika's reveal. So that's an even greater concern. Mind you, Beyond is just enjoying all of this. He's chilling in a room reading through every single document that's been brought to him by the magistrate. And mind you, this martial law is probably heard everywhere. So I wonder what Benjamin's opinion and thoughts on this martial law being enacted right now does for his plan. And if it lines up with his prospects for his plan as a whole. So we're going to have to see. Overall, very info-filled chapter, as most chapters of Hunter x Hunter tends to be. Can't wait to see what happens next week, where we learn, where we see where things go with all these princes being. I feel like one of the biggest chapters is going to be when all of the princes are in one room and then Benjamin enters. I would not be surprised if that chapter basically ends with Benjamin entering into the room. That's my thought. So, but we're going to have to see. Only one way to find out. But other than that, good chapter of Hunter x Hunter, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. You guys, if I didn't touch on a subject concerning this chapter now, then be sure to shoot me a comment concerning this a little bit later on, once this turns into like a full-fledged VOD, and then we'll continue, and then we can continue on from there to see where things go. Special martial law is just because Benjamin's having a short amount of time to live. No one else knows what's the cause of this, which is why Kurapika is just thinking to himself, yeah, that's the reason. That's pretty much the reason I'm thinking. The other important reason is literally him, because he's dying from this illness, dying from this infection. So by enacting special martial law, he can round up the princes quicker, so he can enact his plan of killing all of them, being the sole survivor of the succession battle, then him dying, and then ascending to a new existence using his guardian spirit beast through that process that both him and Furikov spoke of in the last chapter. That's the first thing that came to my mind. He's dying, so he wants to get this done now, despite the fact that there's still a considerable amount of time before they even reach the Dark Continent. So, yeah, I feel like that's the main reason. Kurapika doesn't know that, though. He doesn't know that Benjamin's dying. He doesn't know that the prince that enacted all of this is actually dying. So, we're just gonna have to see how things go from here. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. This was another good chapter of Hunter x Hunter. I'm looking forward to the next one next week. That's all I got for you guys. I got a One Piece episode to react to, and then I'm resting, as I tend to do. But other than that, I'm good for today. Hope y'all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Even check out my membership here on YouTube or over on Patreon, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. And because I know you're coming back anyway. Have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later peoples.